Hi everyone, welcome to my weekly messages. I'm Jelaila Star. Today the topic is Starseed Missions Confirmation Signs. What that title means is that anytime we get a new assignment, there's always signs that what the new assignment is, and they proceed obviously as figuring out what the assignment is, and they can start like 2 to 3 months in advance. Something somebody says, a pattern of something happening over and over again. You're going, you know, if you read Mission Remembered, my second book, you'll see how I figured out what my assignments were. It took me a couple of months to figure out what they were going to be, but I always followed the signs. So today's topic is more about a particular type of sign, and it's what I call the confirmation sign. It's the one that is sent when they feel like you may not quite understand or you may not be ready to accept. They want to make certain that you know, yes, you have a new assignment and here's what it is, and you're on the right track with what you're already thinking. And if you're not, they're going to say it straight. So I want to share with you a personal story about about a confirmation sign. So yes, I do have a new assignment. No, I'm not retiring. I kind of figured they weren't going to put me out to pressure. They weren't going to let me do that because, you know, there's no handbook left for Starseeds and training and missions. And it's up to us who have completed missions to be able to write those handbooks. And I guess that makes sense because they needed us to write them from our experiences. They would make a lot more sense in some dry manual, you know, from mission control. Wouldn't really jive. And besides, they didn't know what we were going to experience down here. So I and many others, I hope other teachers are writing their own stories to be a handbook of different, you know, for the people who are going to be coming, you know, after us and doing their missions. So anyway, here's how I got the confirmation sign. All right. If you go back and you look at my videos over the last, say, couple of months, you'll see I'm starting to talk more and more about starseeds. And I was beginning to think that that was where I needed to go. But this past week, I got the confirmation sign as a person who showed up on my doorstep. So last Friday, I hear the doorbell ring. I go to the front. I always look into the driveway to see if there's a car there. And sure enough, there was a car there. But it wasn't just any car. It was a police car. And I'm going, oh, what's this about? So I go and I open the door and there's a cop standing there and I'm like going, okay, hello, can I help you? And he's a nice man and he says, my name is such and such, and he says, and I was like in shock, you know, and he says, you're Jelaila Star, right? And I'm going, yeah. And he goes, with the Nibram Council. I go, he called it Niberian. And I said, yeah. And he goes, well, I know you, but you don't know me. You don't know me, but I know you. And I'm like, okay, I am ready to freak out. I'm ready to slam this door. This was creepy. Anyway, I think he could see my discomfort, and you know, and something inside of me said, don't slam the door. Because, you know, after 20 years of being on a mission, you get all kinds of crazy things happening. I mean, so many times you feel like you're living in the Twilight Zone. I'm like, okay, just open, just hear him out. So he quickly begins to tell me who he is and that, you know, he's interested in this work and he had been trying to reach me. And unbeknownst to me, he had sent me a Facebook friend request and he had tried to call, but, you know, I didn't answer the phone. I was doing other things. Anyway, so the long story short was he was working in the area. And he thought, well, why don't I just come by and introduce myself? Because I'm trying to reach, but I can't get through. So I just come by and introduce myself. So he did. I thought that took a lot of courage. Anyway, so I figured he was legit. He was legit. And so I invited him in. And we just ended up having this great conversation. But during this time, he says, I came to deliver a message for you. And I'm like going, well, of course, you know, why else would he show up at my door, right? And he said, you're on the right track about the starseeds. But it goes further than that. He said, you are, as I understand it, I was guided to you and you were to help us put together a sanctuary for the starseeds that are awakening now, and in particular the young ones. And I'm thinking, now, if I may have doubted that, but I had another sign. The latest sign right before, like 3 days before Eric showed up, and that I got to tell you about. That'll blow your mind. So anyway, I'm like, okay. I knew he was right because the sign I'm talking about is a young man who came to me. He's in his mid-20s. He was a frustrated young starseed, had been in touch with his off-world council. But because of the misunderstandings and the misconceptions about missions, their relationship had gotten all screwed up. And that left him very angry, but not just angry, frustrated enough to want to take his life. He really believed he should just be able to go home. And, of course, they're telling him, you can't go home until the mission's over. And he says, well, I'm going to end up taking my life. Well, he was so angry, he ended the session early. And it stuck with me. I mean, there was so much to unravel there, so much to straighten out. It would have taken more than an hour anyway. But, you know, anytime someone says they're going to take their life, you don't let that go. I mean, so that was still with me when Eric showed up. I'm sorry, that's Oakley in the backyard. He's my guard dog. Anyway, so this young man, he was assigned to me, and I realized when Eric showed up and told me where to build the sanctuary, which I really think is more of a support place online, that it was for people just like this young man that I'm talking about. So I totally agreed with him, and I thanked him for the message, and he went on his way. Now, what do you do when you get a message like that? How do you proceed from there? When you know, okay, there's your confirmation, yes, you have a new assignment, how do you proceed with the assignment? Well, here's what I do. I do nothing. Because I've learned the hard way that you don't try to make it happen. You don't start throwing money at it. You don't start throwing a lot of energy at it. You just wait. And the reason why, and wait and stay open. The reason why is because there's already a plan in place. And in that plan, there's the people, the money, and the opportunities to make it all happen. Your job is to stay open and say yes when these come. When these doors open, say yes and walk through them. So that's what I'm going to do. So if you are in a mission, or if you're waiting to see what your new assignment is, ask for a confirmation sign like this if you're confused. It'll be in your face. It'll be no doubt. It'll be a shocker too. So, I guess that's it for this week. I hope that this will help you if you are Starseed and you're confused. You know, read Mission Remembered. It's a great way. It's the best way I knew how to share with you how to do a mission and what a mission looks like. Secondly, if you're a parent with a child who is a Starseed and you need to give them some support, I'm here to help. And eventually, hopefully, I will meet some of these other people who are also going to be providing this assistance. And then I can pass you on some other names as well. So that's it for this week. You have a great week, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.